So here we are outside one of Britain's cheapest supermarkets to make one of Britain's cheapest curries with no substitutes on quality. So let's go in. So here's the receipt, £5.38. We've got a few bits and bobs at home. So let's get back and let's get cooking. And we've prepped our ingredients. We've got salt to taste. Salt is free in so many different outlets in the UK, so that's to taste. Some ginger and garlic blended, some oil, some passata, some chicken leg, still with a little bit of fat, so it stops it drying out, really great for curries. Some chopped coriander, some finely sliced onions, the free that we bought in the shop. We've got a touch of cream just for that luxurious texture, and some curry powder. This is a really good brand and it's 99p. We're going to use about a tablespoon. So we've got the pan on, so let's get cooking. The pan's heated up, quite a generous amount of oil. That will take a moment to heat up. A wooden spoon because we're using a non-stick pan, and we've got our sliced onion that we're just going to saute until starting to brown. It'll almost turn into a pulp and reduce greatly. I always tend to add my salt to the onions. It helps them cook evenly and draws the moisture out. So we'll come back in about 5 to 7 minutes when those onions have reduced down. Those onions have been reducing now for about 7 minutes and they're starting to brown, and you can smell the raw flavours are starting to leave the onion. Next we're going to add the chicken. I like to seal the chicken well, so I like to add it to the onions and just give that a good stir. Once the onions, so adding the chicken will reduce the temperature somewhat. It'll pick up heat shortly. Just going to seal the chicken in with the onions, make sure it's cooked through, and we'll return. So the chicken has now sealed. The onions continue to simmer down, and we've got a good basis of a nice hearty sauce there. Next we're going to add the ginger and garlic paste, a nice amount. Give it all a good stir, and then we're going to fry that off for another 5 minutes or so until all the raw flavours of the ginger and garlic have disappeared. So we're about 15 minutes through, just shy of 15 minutes. So we'll come back in about another 5. So that's been approximately 5 minutes. The chicken's nice and sealed now as well, so give it all a good shake up. And next we're going to add the chilies. You might not like it as spicy as me, but putting these chilies in the way that I have done, similar to a jalfrezi. So there are no additional chili powders going in or anything. We're keeping it simple with curry powder. So use your favourite brand of curry powder. And we're going to add a couple of tablespoons. And again, as with all the ingredients, it's really important to cook the raw flavours out. There's nothing worse than raw flavours in your curry. You get the taste nice and balanced, and wow, the aroma of that curry powder really transformed the dish. It smells absolutely great. All those peppers to soften. I'm just going to carry on sizzling that for a good 3 minutes. We're on a high heat. I'll come back shortly. A few minutes later, the aroma is great. Chicken's softened and we've got our nice sauce starting to be created as those onions broke down. Next we're going to add the passata to give a nice sauce. And again, that really needs cooking down. Those raw flavours have got to be cooked away. And those are the tricks of getting a good curry. Cooking things properly, adding the ingredients in the right order. Come back in about another 5 minutes. So a little bit time consuming, but well worth the effort. As you're going to see when we come back in 5 minutes, this dish will be looking excellent. We've still got a few ingredients to add. So the curry's starting to splash all over the kitchen. You can just simply put a lid on, and at this stage we're about 2.5–3 minutes into the cooking of the tomatoes. I've just put it down now to a medium high, so let's put it down to a 6 from a 9. So just let that simmer away gently. We'll come back in about 3–4 minutes. So after 5 minutes, let's have a look. So the oil has split. I haven't stirred it, so let's just loosen it all up and have a look what that looks like. It's at a good temperature on the medium high, and the chicken has absorbed some of those great flavours. I mean, you can stop here if you like, check for salt at the last minute, but we're going to add a little cream, maybe about 25 mils, that's all, just to get a little bit of a luxurious texture into that chicken. Then we're going to use some coriander as well, just at the last minute. Nice and heavy on the coriander, save a little bit for garnish. I'm going to stir that in. And then the lid is going to go back on. We're going to bring it up to temperature and we'll come back and serve. So look at that. Silky deliciousness. And I know what you're thinking. Can we recommend a bigger bowl? So that's a portion for now. And here's a couple of portions for later.